Bevor ich zu den Personalentscheidungen komme, die wir getroffen haben.
Before I come to the personnel decisions we have made, let me first return to the terrible terrorist attack from Saturday night that was carried out here in Berlin. It has taken up the most significant portion in the committees, in the meeting of the Praesidium, and in the meeting of the Federal Executive Board today took place. We think of and pray for the deceased, their relatives, and the injured people. They were all at a festival of openness and diversity on Saturday. Peacefully celebrating people were attacked by an Islamist who wanted to attack these values. Today, in the Federal Executive Committee and the Presidium, we have also once again expressed our thanks and respect to the emergency forces and the volunteer helpers. But I also want to say clearly in response to the question of which the political consequences we will draw from this brutal attack. It is still too early, but it is also clear that it cannot remain just at expressions. We will react with prudence, but also with determination. We must answer, above all, the question of how it is actually possible that a man who is classified like this could be in Berlin on a Saturday evening without interference in the vicinity and carry out this attack there. The target of this attack was not chosen arbitrarily. It was also not an attack not only on the queer community. It was an attack on our freedom. It was an attack on our free society. It was an attack on our freedom and our liberalism. We will do everything to protect this freedom, to protect and defend the openness and liberalism of our society. That is the task of a government, but it is also the task of our society, and we take on this task as a leadership body of the CDU of Germany, as the executive committee, and as a party. Are you, like the CSU leader, also in favor of being able to revoke the German citizenship of dangerous individuals? Thank you. Maybe regarding the last one. First, according to our constitution, we cannot revoke the citizenship of German citizens. According to our constitution, it is impermissible to render German citizens stateless. The constitution is silent on how we deal with citizens who hold a second citizenship alongside their German citizenship. According to prevailing opinion, the revocation of German citizenship is also possible without amending the basic law. Permissible because it would only be impermissible if it led to statelessness. That is, in any case, my understanding of the legal foundations of our basic law. However, I also want to say that before we come to conclusions regarding yesterday's crime, we should very carefully consider which conclusions we draw. In this specific case, a revocation would be the revocation of citizenship, would probably not have been effective at all, because to our knowledge this man only had German citizenship. But of course one can consider this question. However, it is more important that we address those who are required to leave the country, and among them are many who pose a threat. That we encourage these individuals who are required to leave the country to do so as quickly as possible and assist them if necessary, and it is important that we draw the correct conclusions from the attack the day before yesterday with regard to freedom of movement in Germany. I must say I still do not understand, but perhaps there are reasons I am not yet aware of. I still do not understand how it was possible that this man, who was under constant surveillance, was able to approach the Christopher Street Day at all, yesterday or the day before yesterday, without being observed. My question is, could this have been prevented? This is not a rhetorical question, but a sincerely meant question. And if the legal foundations for such a measure are not sufficient, then we need to talk about legal foundations that enable this. In any case, I cannot understand that I can locate my phone anywhere in the world and can also determine via my phone myself. where, for example, my iPad is, but the security authorities in Germany allegedly cannot, or technically cannot, determine at any time where threats of this magnitude are located. These are questions we need to clarify. We need to.
Technisch nicht möglich ist, jederzeit festzustellen, wo sich Gefährder in diesem Ausmaß Gefährder befinden. So, und das sind Fragen, die wir klären müssen.